Well, I'm going to have to be pretty careful here because I don't want to sound too confident, but the job should be done. In the European Champions League quarter-final, we have avoided English opposition and it looks like we might be going through. However, last year we held a 4-1 advantage against Liverpool after the first leg and we still managed to go out. So it probably isn't over yet. Yes, hello, and welcome along to part 128 of Saving Southend with me, Daniel. We are looking good for a place in our first ever Champions League semi final as we hold a 4-0 lead against Atletico Madrid. In truth, not a bad draw for a quarter final at this stage, but they did beat us 4-1 at home last season in the group stages, and we lost from 4-1 up in the quarter final last year. So it's definitely not over, but it's a great opportunity, as is the FA Cup, because we come up against Manchester City in a semi-final just 4 days later, and the winner of that will face either Newcastle or League One QPR. So it looks like the winner will be favourites going into the final. As it is, Newcastle are now our closest contenders in the league as well. Arsenal, as they so often have in this save, have fallen off the wagon late in the year, and that means with our running being quite difficult still, we should have an opportunity to win it. Newcastle to come at home a bit later on. Big games on the horizon. If you're looking forward to seeing if this can be a dramatic finish to a big season, then please do put a thumbs up on it. As you can see from the team news, there's a couple of injuries, but we're absolutely flying overall. We've got a couple of young signings sorted out for the summer already. If we go and have a look at the schedule, we've started to find some form again since you were last here, and that's partly because Nana Fair has returned from injury and he's been popping up with a fair few goals. And even Ashley Carter's found one or two, as bizarrely as Roy Curley, who's had a little run. So you were with me last time as we did the job against Frankfurt and Everton. We were nursing people back to fitness in that one, but it went really well. We then had relegation fodder in Leeds United, who have had a poor year in this save, and we've managed to get 3 goals against them. Ashley Carr scored in the first half as Vasquez picked up yet another injury. McNaughton did have to be at his best at times, but late on, we exposed space at the back as they came and chased an equaliser. Ivo Torres scored a rocket, and then Roy Curley off the bench in the 94th minute popped up with one. But the big game was this one. We mentioned the Brighton one was the only difficult one on paper in the league between the last episode and now, and it went to the wire. It looked like, for all sensible logic, it was going to be a 0-0 draw. Then in the 92nd minute, Teddy Ivanov popped up with a big header at the back post off the bench. He wasn't even fit, but I threw him on because he was the top scorer and Ashley Carr had flattered to deceive again. And then they went and got a corner. The goalkeeper came up. We headed it away, broke away, and Teddy Ivanov did it again. 2 goals in 2 minutes. Really flattered us. It was a 0-0 game. Trust me on that. Against West Bromwich Albion, Nana Fair came back to fitness in style with him and Joe Wills getting a goal apiece. Lovely to see both of the first choice front two scoring. And then at home to Atletico Madrid, it was the Nana Fair show. And to be fair, we had to change what happened on the left-hand side. Adamson had a poor game. He wasn't really fit. So I pushed Jan Carlos up into midfield. Then I took him off at 2 and put Roy Curley in there. Both of them scored from that position. Fair got the second of his brace late on. And that fourth goal probably took me from feeling decent to feeling good, because after having a 3 goal advantage last year, I know it's not the end of the world. Then against Bristol City at the weekend, to be honest, they're a very poor side. We rotated almost fully. I think if you look at the 11 there, probably Herbert, Bernberg, Adamson and Wills are the only 4 first teamers. As it was, we didn't need any of them. It was a really easy victory. 5 goals to 0. 2 for Carr, 1 for Ivanov and Wills, and Edward Agyeman opened the scoring, just his second goal for the club. We also brought on Mikey Magwood, I think a couple of times actually. Did he come on against West Brom? He did. So 2 sub appearances for him, the youngster from the academy. I want to get him up to speed as well as possible so he can be a part of this before the end of the save. For now though, it is 2 huge games, and to be fair after that, the Premier League running isn't easy. I would expect us to get the title because the Newcastle game is at home, so I'll probably even rest people against Spurs. Focus on Newcastle at home. Southampton away is a game we should win against bottom of the table. But if it goes to the final day, it's away at United. Sheffield United are obviously one of the best sides in the league. And Everton away is never an easy game for us. So the fact that other sides have faltered and given us a bit of a buffer is great. but the sides we've been beating, bar the Brighton game, have all been sides right at the bottom, and now we've got a tough run to finish. I expect that to be pretty interesting, but that's not our worry for today. For the second episode in a row, it's Champions League and FA Cup time. Can we make our first semi-final of the Champions League? And can we make an FA Cup final, a competition we've only won once before? Let's get through to the fixtures and find out how we go. All change, I imagine, from what happened in the Premier League at the weekend. Ibrahim on the left-hand side is a player we tried to sign before when he was at Forest, a really world-class left winger, and they've got a good side. So let's go and get the team picked, see who we've gone for today. They're recommending McNaughton above Sadler, but I'm not letting him out the team. Sadler is a star in the big games, and I'm going to trust him here. I'm sticking with a 4-4-2 for now. If we struggle a bit, I will chuck on a holding midfielder. We've talked about it a couple of times before. With Fair and Wills now both fit and finding form, I want to give them the opportunity. We have also been struggling with match load in midfield, so that's the one area I'm probably going to make a change in truth. I'm having a look at the options. So do you know what, actually? York Robertson can come in on the right. And then in central midfield, it's do I take in Kivrakidis, who is now probably the best, but is still throwing his toys out the pram. Do I stick with Bernberg, who is the first choice player, but has been really poor all season? Or do I throw in Torres, who's been the best of the lot? But if we go back to what happened in recent games, remember that Carabao Cup final? He was the man who cost us. So how do I go about it? Marciano's out. I'm going to put Torres in for Jimenez. Then I think I'm going to stick with Bernberg, albeit Kivrakidis is the one I really want to go for. He's better defensively. Oh, please. What do I choose? I'm going to stick with Bernberg because he's happier. I think that will do the job for now. If we need to, Kivrakidis can come on. But this is the 11 we're going for. Jude Sadler in goal with Memic and Carlos the fullbacks. Herbert and Rakowski as centre-half. A midfield four of Robertson, Torres, Bernberg and Adamson with Fair and Wills up front. Not many with a heavy match load, which should help us today. We got a few people rested for this one. Saturday might be a problem, but for now, with a 4-0 advantage, I'll say what I said at 4-1 against Liverpool last year. Surely, we can't throw this away. Well, it's Atletico Madrid who have got to be on the front foot today. I'm hoping that will leave space at the back. A quick note on their bench to say, as well as it being full, they've got Ashley Clifford, who we tried to sign from Manchester United. A right back that's almost as good as Memic. So for him to be a sub shows how good they are. But I'm watching out for that midfield. Ibrahim and Noosa out wide. They're going to be a threat, I can assure you. Let's go and get through to this though. Gallardo's side doing well. We're going to prove a point. We're going to head into the first half. But will it be the last time we get the Champions League music this year? Hopefully not. It could be a first semi-final. We are 90 minutes away from club history. But are we going to produce? Let's go and find out. And hope we can produce a better away display than the quarterfinals last year. Well, I was hoping, to be honest, that we go the whole first half without a highlight. But I won't mind if we don't concede from it. 10 minutes gone. We're keeping possession at the back. But I'm always nervy when we've got it in our own third. As Carlos plays up to Wills. That's good football though. It's been a lovely passing move. Not going anywhere yet. But we're keeping it well. I say that as we give it away. And this is what I'm fearful of. If they score an early goal, I'll just start to panic. Get the sense of deja vu. Alonso, though, forced backwards. Good pressing. Costello into midfield. Fair does well, but again, we can't keep it. Now we're penned back in our own half. We forced it back to the keeper, though. It's good work from the boys. It's disciplined. But it only takes one moment to be undone. And I'm watching nervously, I'm being honest. I didn't think at 4-0 I would be nervous. But Lucas in. Great effort just over. There's the first warning sign. We've got to keep them quiet for the first half. What would really shut them up is a goal here. As Fair into the back post for Joe Wills. Champions League semi-final is surely on the way now. 5-0 on aggregate. Even we can't throw this away. Surely we can't. What a start it's been. Fair delivers for his teammate Joe Wills up front. And we're 1-0 up on the night. 5-0 on aggregate. And I know we let in 5 away at Liverpool, but we didn't let in 6. And Joe Wills from yet another set piece has done the job. Oh, this is lovely stuff. Herbert flicks it down and set pieces are running the show. It feels like a long time ago. That game just, 18 months or so ago where we lost 4-1 here. Same week we lost 4-1 at Arsenal as well, I think. I remember the episode. I was in a right strop at the end of it. But now we are dominating. Bernberg nicking the ball in midfield. Brilliant stuff. We look properly up for this. Maybe this will be the year. All of the English sides bar Arsenal are out. Arsenal drew 2 at home to Milan. They might go out in this one. And then against the rest of Europe, we look all right. I say as we concede right on cue. Mendoza scores. They'll be checking VAR, but the assistance flag didn't go up. I think it'll be fine. 6-1 on aggregate. The clean sheet just couldn't come. We're straight up the other end though. We've been really aggressive in this game as Robertson goes back to Torres. Gets the second bite of the cherry. Good ball in. Adamson heads just over. I've been more impressed by the performance than the fact we're ahead so far. Lovely to see Joe Will scoring goals. Can we get one for fair as well as Adamson plays a 1-2 with the fullback. Deflected to the edge of the box. Big clearance as far as Rakowski. Wide to Memic. Space to run into, but he takes the sensible option. Keeps the ball. Then finds a brilliant pass for Adamson to cross the box. Looking for Joe Wills on a hat-trick. Doesn't quite find him. Bernberg gets it to Torres though. And now Joe Wills does. And that is a 27-minute Champions League quarter-final hat-trick. They're checking VAR for the offside. That was on. It was a brilliant run. It was a fantastic pass. And it is 7-1 on aggregate. We are doing this in style. We're putting a team out in the way we've been put out away from home in recent years. And we've been clinical. Joe Wills is turning up when it matters. And so are Southend United. We're going to the semi-final as Joe Wills looks for fair. 2 runners off him. Robertson's in. Oh, this could be a demolition job. Good save by the goalkeeper. Southend United are back. And they are back when it matters most. Oh, just let us avoid Arsenal. That's all I'm asking for. As Adamson to the back post. Herbert's up. Heads over the bar. I'm having a time of my life here. Might even get to rest people for the FA Cup semi-final. That is a lovely position to be in. Dortmund winning at Juve. We've had trouble with them in the past. With 5 to half time. We just can't get a breather. It is chances galore for Southend United. Alonso playing wide though for Atletico. Don't want to start conceding more silly goals as Ibrahim on the left finds Alonso. Chip in for Lucas who makes a great midfield run. He's had a really good game in there. 12 for the season from midfield. You can see his first thought is to get forward. And again, they're checking with VAR, but the flag stayed down. It'll be fine. 3-2 on the night. 7-2 to Southend on aggregate. And we're going straight from the kickoff again. Can't get a breather. Jan Carlos into Bernberg. He finds Torres. Wide to the right to Robertson. They're so open because they're chasing the game. York Robertson just plays kick and run. Gets the ball in. Wills is up. Might score again. Over the bar. Half time. And we get a breather. It's 7-2 already on aggregate. I just want the half time whistle to come. Let us all have a little breather here. Do I go a bit more cautious and see it out? Or do I keep chasing it? Because they're going forward and we've got a real chance on the counter. When we get to the hour mark, we will rest Adamson. We will rest Bernberg. Probably Joe Wills as well. This game could provide us with a real unexpected opportunity. But what we can't afford to do is concede any more sloppy goals. Because we've let in 2 shots on target against us already. Just want to keep it quiet to the hour mark or so. And then we can go for a few aggressive changes. Might get a bit more of Roy Curley out there. But either way, what a performance it's been. We're past the hour mark. It's nice and comfortable at the minute. So now we will make the changes. They're not offering a lot. Adamson will come off for Roy Curley or Vasquez, who's back from injury. Let's chuck him on, in fact. We've got Mikey Magwood, who may well get a few minutes here. But now, though, up front, I want to play safe. Who's got the heaviest match load? Ivanov has played 187. Ashley Carr, what have you done? 124. It will be Ashley Carr on, fair switching over. Bernberg can come off for Kivrakidis. And I think that's going to be it for now. Although Rakowski's had a poor game. Memic is struggling a little bit as well. I'm going to take Memic off, put Rakowski to the right and Hansen on at centre-half. Leaves 1 sub, which ideally I'll use for Magwood. With 20 to go. It's a dream night in Europe. I'm a very happy man. What change do we make? Do we rest someone or do we give the kid a few minutes? Do I think with my heart on my head? As Vasquez breaks away, looks really unfit at the minute. He just gets back, plays a couple of games, get injured again. He's just not been able to put a run together this year. It's been a frustrating one for him. As it is though, we're not going to complain too much tonight. Because this has been a really comfortable display as Costello on the left. Be nice to win on the night as well for the coefficient if we can keep the lead. Lucas goes wide, we might be about to lose it. Loran gets into the box. 2 in the middle, 3 now. Plays back 50 yards. Might be the right option though, because Lano goes from distance. It's just over the bar. Could have been ugly that. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. And I know this isn't going to be a popular choice. I'm going to bring off Jan Carlos because De Angelis is injured at the minute. and we don't have a backup on the left. So Roy Curley will come on, not someone I want to play in a game that matters. And with us 5 up here, I think we can get away with it. We might well let in 1 or 2, but we'll be able to stay ahead in a tie. Whereas in the FA Cup, we're going to need Giancarlos. As Lauren gets it on the edge of the box. Good challenge, Kivrakidis. Back to Mendoza. It's good football. Ibrahim hits the post. We get away with 1. Cleared downfield. Fair does well to hold it up. We're 10 to go. We're living dangerously in terms of the lead on the night. But I don't think there's going to be any danger to the balance of this tie. A really brilliant performance. We're going to praise the boys going into stoppage time. 2 minutes added on. 3-2 on the night. 7-2 on aggregate. Southend United reach a first Champions League semi-final in style. Now, all we've got to do is avoid the English opposition. Let's see if they make it through anyway, find out who we're facing, and get to an FA Cup semi-final, as the next stop is Wembley for Manchester City. Well, it's fitness test time with a big long list ahead of the FA Cup semi-final. Basically, Marciano and Worcester not making it. Worcester wouldn't have featured anyway. Let's have a look, though, at the schedule, because we've got our Champions League semi-final opponent, and there are no English sides left in aside from us. We play Juventus, who came back to draw 3-3 against Dortmund on the night and win on penalties. AC Milan got past Arsenal and they face Real Madrid. And you know what? I'm going to be honest with you now. I think we should make the final against Juventus. I really think we've got an opportunity. The quarterfinals were all pretty close apart from our one, albeit we had the weakest opposition of the lot. And I just hope that we can find a way to deliver. We'll find out as we go on. There is also some injury news from this week, as Soren Hansen has picked up a 4-week knock. We know De Angelis and Marciano are missing out as well. So just a sign that the squad's a little less deep than it was previously. As we go into this game against City, we know we've got an opportunity. Don't forget there are Premier League fixtures going on today as well, so we'll see if any of the others can close the gap. But for now, our focus is not on Arsenal v Forest, it's not on Brighton, Sheffield United. It's very much on what we can do at Wembley Stadium. Loads of players to close down. They've got Gibbert up front, Arthur on the left, 2 of the best in the world in their position. And 2 original players hanging on. Van der Voort, who wasn't at City but was a star. To be fair, Hato's in there as well. But also Rico Lewis at left back, who's still only in his early 30s. Let's go and pick our team though. How fit is everyone looking? The match loads aren't great, I'm going to be honest. I think we'll have to balance this out a little bit. I'm not going to go for a complete rotation. I'm going to rest 3 or 4. So let me go and get this team pick, get Hansen out the squad. We'll be back in a minute to run through the 11. Well, to be honest, I'm pretty limited in what we can do. One of the changes today was going to be Hansen for Rakowski, which I now can't do. Herbert's never coming out. Carlos can't be replaced because De Angelis is injured. Robertson and Ukulano. Robertson's in great form. I don't want to change it. Torres' minutes isn't too bad. We've brought Kivrakidis in for Bernberg. And Vasquez is in for Adamson, who, in truth, has just emptied the tank. He's got nothing left to give. We're sticking with Fair and Wills up front, despite the slightly heavier match load. But we know that Kara and Ivanov are ready to pounce. There's goals on the bench. There's quality in the squad. I'm really happy with it. So the 11 in full sees only those couple of changes, I think. It is literally Kivrakidis and Vasquez in. And the other 2, Bernberg and Adamson, dropped to the bench. Aside from that, it's what we played in midweek. Let's hope we get the same outcome. Well, Manchester City, of course, have the benefit of not being in Europe anymore. So Zidane's side, who have had a poor year with him in charge, are not having to worry about their situation with physicality. Van der Voort's the backup keeper, but he's coming in for the FA Cup. They've got Arda Güler on the bench, who'll be in his early 30s now as well. But some of the players they've brought in, I mean, with Gibbert and Arthur, I don't know how they're down where they are in the league. Let's get through the dressing room. Let's ask the boys to prove a point. Wembley Stadium is ready for us. We've been here once this season and lost in the Carabao Cup final. We've been here another time and won in the Community Shield final. Is it going to be 2-1 to us or 2-1 down when it comes to our 3 Wembley appearances? We've certainly got experience of playing here. But Manchester City, as you can see, love a draw. And that's always going to be tough for us because we don't often produce entertaining games at Wembley. Well, early doors, it's a corner kick for City, and this routine looks a bit something else. They've got 5 players scattered around the edge of the box, and they've done us inside out. Fresneda's been forced wide. It's back to Sinani. We've closed them down, stopped them doing what they intended, but they still managed to get in the end. It's a goal kick, but we've been completely bamboozled by it. Not even sure how you would deal with that in the FM tactics. 10 minutes gone, City the better side. It was always likely to be a slow start, given the fact that we played away in Europe in midweek. And are we going to have to sacrifice this competition because of that? I hope not. Let's hope we grow into it and that the bench can do its job if we need them. We love a late goal, but it would be nice not to be behind as Memic works down the right to Robertson. He releases Nana Fair, someone we've brought in January to be a star. He's beaten by Hato there, which is a bit of a shame. Would have expected him to win that battle for pace. Maybe Hato just muscled him off it as Gibbert works forward. Back to Suarez. City looking to break against us. Big ball down the left. Lewis will chase it to the byline. Poor challenge from Memic. He's into Rakowski. Falls for Arthur. What a save, Jude Sadler. That's why you're still the number one for me. When it comes to the biggest moments, you produce the saves. They've got this little routine set up again. 3 around the edge of the box. 1 on a short corner. All into the front post almost did us as well. Vasquez go longs. Fair flicks it on. But he's not going to get there. It peters out for us and it stays 0-0 with 25 gone. City though, how have they not got a shot on target there? The stats say no shot on target. We just watched Sadler make a brilliant save that was clearly going into the back of the net. Now I'm really starting to doubt things here. As we move into the last 10 minutes of the first half, Memic getting the ball out from the back. Torres finds Jorg Robertson, who unfortunately has struggled to have the same impact today. But Ukulano's a good sub. Ivanov's a good sub. I'm not that worried. We just need to be level at the hour mark at least. As Torres goes back to Herbert. Maybe not the worst idea to get City chasing here. Torres up to Fair. Good ball to Robertson. Does he spark into life? Fair's in the middle unmarked. Robertson against Hato. Again, just waited too long. Vasquez back to Kivrakidis. He's unhappy, but he's playing better than Bernberg. As I say that, we've given it away with Carlos. Not the best from him. Works hard to win it back, though, for Joe Wills. Hat-trick in midweek. And he's got the confidence. He goes from distance. In truth, it was an ugly effort. Over the bar, it stays 0-0. Neither side really looked like scoring that much. Well, there we are. It remains 0-0 at the break. City have had slightly more of the shots. Probably had the best chance of the half, but we're still in it. And while these boys have been running into the ground, we've got great subs who can make an impact. The plan is that with about 25 to go, we can get both strikers on off the bench. As Fair puts a corner in, Herbert's there, it's up. It's not gone out of play yet, has it? Just wide in the end. But then we can replace one of the midfielders. We can get Ukulano on and maybe just have a go with fresh legs. But we've got to stay at 0-0. And at the moment, City look more threatening as Sinani goes back to his keeper. They have returned to this sort of passing style under Zidane. They weren't doing it so much under Emery. But here they go with Rico Lewis to Gibbert. Works in. Arda Güler, the sub. Great save, Sadler. Oh, it's stunning goalkeeping. Honestly, whenever we need him, he always steps up. And it's going to be hard for McNaughton because I never want to give up Sadler as the number one. Don't forget we've got that keeper from Napoli coming in the summer. I might just have to use him to make a profit now because I don't want to let Sadler go. An hour on the clock, it remains 0-0. City are getting stronger, we're getting weaker. They've made their subs earlier. Can we survive this corner and then twist? Headed up, but not quite away yet. It's back into the box, Carlos away, and now Kivrakidis can break. Can he find someone? What a smash and grab this would be. To Joe Wills, turns back. Not the best pass to Carlos, and we're going to have to reset here. Herbert passing it at the back to Kivrakidis and Carlos and Wills. Lovely football to Fair and Torres. 25 yards out. Works into the box. Oh, what a counter-attacking goal that is. Ivo Torres breaks away. He has banished the demons of Wembley from the Carabao Cup final. That terrible back pass that cost us the trophy there. And he has come back and maybe put us in an FA Cup final. What a performance from him. Now, let's make a few changes. We're going to take Robertson off for Ukulano. And we'll give it another 5 minutes because that goal has changed the complexion slightly. But we go towards the final 20. Torres starting to struggle as well. Memic has won the ball well there at the back. Ukulano, the sub, finds Kivrakidis. Out to Memic in the wide area. We have got a league game in midweek against Spurs. I've decided I'm going to rest everyone. Focus on Newcastle at home the weekend after. We win that game. The damage will be eliminated anyway because they're the closest rivals. Fair's missed the challenge there, but Ukulano breaks away. Super sub into Wills. Oh, we decided to keep Ukulano as the only sub, not take Wills off as well. And now he's tapped in for 2-0. Do you know what? It's one of those episodes. Everything I'm touching is turning to gold, and I'm all here for it. We're going to take Torres off now for Joaquin Jimenez. Vasquez will come off for Adamson. And then up front, did I just see that right? Yeah, Ashley Carr's anxious. So Ivanov will come on for Joe Wills. And I'll save the last one in case of an injury. Ashley Carr, your mentality's letting you down here. Well, 10 minutes to go. You can see Carlos is struggling. I think it might be a case of Roy Curley at left back in midweek. For now, though, Aguiman will replace Memic on the right. Gives us that extra physicality and that extra bit of fitness. But it's a free kick for City in a dangerous position. And if this goes in, we're going to have a grandstand finish and a nervy one from our point of view. But it doesn't go in. And guess why? Jude Sadler is there again. Oh, I bloody love that guy. He's the only original player left in our team. Apart from Casey Worcester, of course, but the only one at first team level, and he is magnificent. Castellero works down the right to Goulet, cuts in on that left foot, and he's put it wide. Jude Sadler, the hero again. Bar Yucolano, the sub, he's the best player on the pitch. And now we've got a problem. I didn't take fair off for a car, and it's cost me. It's cost me. The heavy match loader's got there. I'm going to switch Ivanov to that role and leave him up on his own. Let's drop Yucolano to a support duty. Let's drop the fullbacks to defensive duties. There's no point us trying to be aggressive now. We've not got that countering threat with only one in the box. So we're going to time waste all the time. We'll play for set pieces and we'll slow the pace down. We're still going to counter when we get it. I want to be aggressive. I don't want to worry too much. Low block. We'll keep that attacking line a bit deeper. We'll just try and be compact for the 6 minutes of stoppage time. As Yucolano makes a great challenge in there. Jimenez hoofs it forward to no one. We are playing to hang on now. We're playing like it's 1-0 as Hato carries over halfway line. City not getting pressured at the back. What can we do with Veloso on the ball? Hato gets it again, just carries it forward because we're not pressing the centre halves. Ivanov now goes back to engage him and he's forced him wide. Teddy Ivanov and Adamson take a bow. Sadler hoofs forward to no one. But that work rate, it epitomises what we've become the last couple of months. Rico Lewis carries forward this time and again Ivanov just doing shuttle runs. What a player. What a season he's had. Suarez chips over to Veloso. We might still be in trouble. Taking on Aguiman, who wins the first one. Forces him back. Now it finds Castellero on the edge. Back to Rico Lewis. Forced to shoot from distance. But my God, it's a good strike. Sadler finally beaten. The impenetrable wall is breached. And it is 2-1 with 3 minutes of stoppage time to go. Don't do this to me. I mean, the good news is if we get to stoppage time or extra time, we get the extra sub. But my God, Gibbert's just missed a sitter. How on earth has that not gone in? We're in trouble here, folks. We're in real trouble. We're not going to counter. We're going to hold our shape. What else can I do to slow it down? Be more disciplined. We'll drop Jimenez in as a centre midfielder on defend. I genuinely don't know what more I can do. I'm not going to press quite as often. We're going to sit in a defensive shape. There are 75 seconds to hold on. We don't deserve to win this game based on City's late flourish, but we've won it. The clinical edge shows, but how bad is that injury to Nana Fair? Well done to the lads for making the final, and well done to Ivo Torres. The ultimate redemption for him at Wembley. And now we've got an FA Cup final. Will it be a Champions League one as well? We'll find that answer out next time. Nana Fair is out for the season. Not gone quite as well as we'd hoped him replacing Kranjic, has it? Let's go and have a look at the schedule then. Who do we have in the final, in fact? The other semis tomorrow. Let's go and see the result of that. Then we'll look at the schedule. Well, Arsenal and Brighton both won in the Premier League to keep a little bit of pressure on. But who will it be in the FA Cup final? Will we face the next best side, second place Newcastle? Or will we face League One opposition? Now that would be a real stroke of luck. Let's press continue and find out together. Are we going to get the ultimate good news here? No, we're not. It's a 1-0 win for Newcastle. So here's what we're going to do to make sure we don't miss any of it. We're going to play the reserves against Spurs, sacrifice what might be a result there. Then we will be back for Newcastle at home, a real title decider, and Juventus away in the first leg of the semi-final. We're in all three big ones as we reach the semi-final stage, and we've got another FA Cup final at Wembley to look forward to. I'd love to win that for a second time. You can join me to find out if we do. Over the next week or so, we're going to have a few big episodes here. So subscribe and turn that notification bell on. It is also very much worth joining me tomorrow in the coach's head because we will be job hunting. We'll be going through interviews and hopefully we'll be making another move across Europe or the footballing world. Come and join me with that one. I'm sure it'll be plenty of fun, as well as on the Twitch channel for regular live streams and the football podcast where the EFL and National League season kicks off this weekend. You can find our pre-season predictions for all 4 leagues up there. Come and get involved in them. Give us yours in the comments as well. But for now, thank you very much for watching. We've got a grandstand finish, which could be a historic one for Southend United this season. The 15th year might well be the magic one. I'll see you next time to see if the progress keeps coming.